The first thing you need to do is cut out your pumpkin picking poem and glue it onto the back side of your 4-square paper. After you cut and glue your poem, we always number our lines and stanzas. So we've got 1, 2, 4, 14. So I see 17 lines, but I notice that there is not any separate stanzas. There's just one big stanza. Remember, a stanza is a paragraph in a poem. Then I'm going to go ahead and write author's message up here in the corner. I'm ready to read. My mom squeezed my hand as we searched the pumpkin patch. We looked left and right under itchy stems and scratchy leaves, but there was not one in sight. Who knew picking a pumpkin was such a mix of work and fun? How can I choose just one shape? They all look so utterly unique. Some cute ones, big oval ones, and extra bumpy ones. Wait, I spy something, just the right size. Round and as bright orange as a clownfish. I give that pumpkin a big squeeze. You'll make a perfect jack-o'-lantern, I whispered. Okay, after reading this, I'm noticing something. When I look at the last word of each line, hand, patch, right, leaves, sight, pumpkin, fun, shape, unique, ones, something, size, clownfish, squeeze, jack-o'-lantern, and whispered. I saw 2 words that rhymed, right and sight, but there's no rhyming pattern. Overall, my words don't rhyme, so I know this poem is a free verse poem. It has no rhyming. Go ahead and make sure you have that written down. The author wanted to teach us something. He wanted us to know that although you might try and not succeed, if you're patient, your persistence, that's one of our theme words, will pay off. So persistence pays off. On this side, I'm going to go ahead and write it again right here where it says author's message. Persistence pays off. Anything that I write down on this paper or even on this side, you should be writing down on your paper as well. Okay, I'm going to skip vocabulary for now and I'm going to go down to poetic device. I saw something that we learned a couple weeks ago. It says, just the right size, round, and as bright orange as a clownfish. It's comparing the pumpkin, the bright orange pumpkin, to a clownfish. When you compare 2 things using like or as, that is called a simile. Right here under poetic devices, I'm going to write simile. You should have it underlined on the other side. The next thing I noticed was the word, the poetic device alliteration. Alliteration is when 2 or more words start with the same first letter. Peter Piper picked a peck. Pickle peppers, or Sally sold seashells by the seashore. Those are alliteration. I noticed right here at the top it says pumpkin patch, PP. I see utterly unique, U and U. Those are alliteration. Now I'm going to quickly reread the poem and I want you to think about who's speaking in the poem and how this poem makes us feel. My mom squeezed my hand, okay? My mom, which means it's probably a kid, as we searched the pumpkin patch. Squeezing the hand, they might be nervous, they might be excited. We looked left and right under itchy stems and scratchy leaves, but there is not one in sight. Who knew picking a pumpkin was such a mix of work and fun? Work and fun. How can I choose just one shape? They all look so utterly unique. So right now you might be feeling a little overwhelmed. Small, cute ones, big oval ones, and extra bumpy ones. Wait, I spy something just the right size, round and as bright orange as a clownfish. I give that pumpkin a big squeeze. You'll make a perfect jack-o'-lantern, I whispered. Okay, we decided towards the beginning that our speaker was probably a child. We don't know if it's a girl or a boy, and that really doesn't matter. The feeling of this poem, how the child feels during most of the poem, is excited. Go ahead and make sure that's written down. We're going to move back up to vocabulary. There's one word in here that really sticks out to me, and it's the word unique. Some of you might have background knowledge on the word unique. You may have been called unique, or you've called someone else unique. Let's see if we can figure out what it means. Here's the word right here. I'm not just going to read this sentence because that's not going to be enough. I'm going to go all the way up to here to give myself some room. Who knew picking a pumpkin was such a mix of work and fun? How could I choose just one shape? They all look so utterly unique. Okay, so this part right here, it says, how can I choose just one shape? That tells me that there are tons and tons of different shapes. And they all look unique. Well, if there are tons of different shapes, and they're all unique, that tells me that they are all different. The word unique, let's go ahead and box it in, means different.